Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. As you can see, we're in the other shed today. Been doing quite a bit of work. Been thinking about a few different things we're going to try to do in here. We've been doing quite a bit of eBay sales. I've even been working on curating a Whatnot show, and I don't typically do that stuff at all. Been trying to get a couple Div Dit orders up and or auctions up and a few charity things. So I've been out here for quite a while. And Jess has been out here too working on Whatnot shows because I usually don't take care of that. But I've had a chance to read through some comments and I've got a couple that I really want to talk about. And I've talked about this issue before, but I really want to get into it a little bit and get your opinion on this, about the secrets of reselling. And we're going to talk about some of those secrets here today. We're going to talk about what you shouldn't give up and what information you should give up and how nice you are to your competition. We're going to explore the heck out of this and look at a few comments that I got lately that I got to tell you, I think are partly true, and I totally disagree with a different half of it. But it should be a good episode. We have some good sales as well. I got to get this stuff loaded up in the other cabin, all these eBay listings. And it slowed down a little bit. It was going really, really hot for a while. It slowed just a little bit. But yesterday we had some really good sales, and I'm going to show you those today. Let's go take a look. I am headed down to, is that Pepper? I'm headed down to the other cabin. We're going to start with just one or two sales today and then get right to the topic. I hear a lot of people say, hey, you take forever to get to the topic. Well, my answer to that is this show really is about what things are selling right now on eBay, and then we mix in those other topics, and I'm excited about this one today. Let's go take a look. All right, I am in here. I've actually been doing a little bit of work here because I'm about ready to transform this cabin a little bit. Let me turn the heater down so it doesn't make a bunch of noise. I want to get a little bit more storage here. I think I'm actually going to sell this. I might put this up on auction. I get more questions about two things in this shed. This little hobo lamp, I think that's what you call them, bar lamp, that's never been for sale, and that Nintendo sign that's never been for sale. But I think I'm going to finally sell this. So maybe go check out eBay. I'll put it up for auction. Get a lot of questions about it. The other one I've been doing in here is that light right there. I love these light. Can't remember what they're called. But that one went out, and I had to put that one in, but I've got a new one that gives a little bit better light. But let's go pick the first item. The first one is a lunchbox, and I don't sell a ton of lunchboxes. I don't usually find them in good condition around here, but I grabbed this one. Actually, there was two of them. One of them had a thermos in it, and one of them didn't. And I don't know which. Whoop, that's the empty one, of course. And this is the one that's sold. It's a McDonald's lunchbox with the thermos inside. A little Western themed one right there. Sheriff of Cactus Canyon. And that one sold for $24.95. plus shipping. Now, I've been getting these comments for a long time, and what I'm going to say here might surprise some of you. I actually do think there are some things that people should keep secret. That sounds a little funny coming from a guy on YouTube who talks about everything, but I'm going to talk about that. I'm not going to read the exact two comments. I'm going to reference them a little bit here in a second. This is a new inductive study Bible, and when I picked it up, I'm like, this is a $50 Bible. I looked up comps, and they're $50 to $100 Bibles. Actually leather bound, but this one had a few issues. You see this right here and this right here, and it's a little bit kind of wonky right there. I don't know if there was water on it or something, but I didn't get 50 bucks for it, but I got $30.35 and I only paid $1, so can't beat that right there. And I know a lot of people hate me, boy, especially on Facebook and TikTok when I sell Bibles, but hey, $1 into over $30 plus shipping really quickly too. Side note, the reason I'm not going to read the names of the people in the direct quotes, I don't know, I guess I probably could, but the last time I did that, I didn't even read the person's name, and they were ticked off that I read their, it wasn't really derogatory, it just was a comment that I thought was worth addressing, and I do that often, so don't get offended out there, but I'm not going to read this name today. I probably won't even read the comment. I always find that funny, though, on a side note, before we get into this, that if somebody's willing to put their name on something and put it out there in the comments, I don't know why they'd be upset if I took it up as a topic. But anyway, I'm not trying to offend anybody, for sure. Because one of these messages came on the Commonwealth Picker channel, and it was from a reseller who was a viewer of the channel, but they were pretty incensed and thought it was pretty crazy that I would share these secrets, that everybody could have them, and then it would hurt all of us. So I want to address that a little bit today. And I am going to start kind of with the low-hanging fruit, but I would love for y'all to chime in on each part of this as I talk about it and tell me what you think about it. And be honest, that's fine. I can take it. I'm a big boy. Kodak Easy Share. I'm just surprised. There was a time where these just didn't sell for anything, hardly. But now they're going pretty decent. $25.95 plus shipping. It's got a lot of wear on it and everything, so I mean, some of these can go for well more than that. So this particular person was kind of upset that I was sharing this information out, and that people out there having sales can watch this stuff, and now they know what their stuff is worth. And I thought, okay, I kind of get that, right? But the reality is, and this is why I say it's low-hanging fruit, and I think this is where people miss the boat, especially the people that say, hey, you know, you've ruined Goodwill because Goodwill watches these videos and now they know what everything's worth. I don't know, maybe this is simplification, but how many people are there out there that don't realize they have a phone in their hand and they can look up the value of anything? What I find is that most people know that. They just don't want to do it. They don't want to go through the process. They see this, what they see in their house is a mess of stuff, and they feel cluttered, and they want to get rid of everything, and they don't even care. They just want it gone. But at the same time, if they think something's worth money, they're going to raise the price on that particular one thing. So are there people out there who watch these shows, you know, this type of show, but the picker channels especially, and say, you know, this stuff could be worth money because, look, I saw this show, and then they take that extra step to go look it up? I would say yes. But I did a private pick from a friend of mine the other day. He called me up, said he's moving, and he's like, you know, come on over. I want you to have first dibs at this stuff before I put it out the yard sale. And I'm like, okay, that's cool of you. Very nice of you. So that's exactly what I did. And I don't normally do that. I don't like, you know, behind the scenes kind of stuff. It kind of makes me look bad when I'm out there picking. But this is a buddy of mine, right? And so I'm like, that's cool when people know what I do, and I could go do that. And he made 2 stacks of stuff. He put, well, they were actually in multiple places, but he put everything in his dining room that he thought I might be interested, that he thought had value. I took very little out of that room. I took a ton out of the basement, out of the garage, all the stuff that was going to the garage sale. And that's kind of the point, right? Most people don't, I don't know how to say it. I don't want to sound insulting. People who aren't pickers, who aren't resellers, they look at certain things and think they have value and these things don't have value. And I really don't know how much watching these shows out there that the populace really changes that for the masses. Does it on the fringes? I suppose. But, you know, most people realize that if they want to figure out if something's worth something or not, they got that little device in their hand. Goodwill does too. I'm sorry. But if there was no YouTube videos ever about this stuff, Goodwill still would have figured out. They're not stupid. People that run businesses aren't idiots. They would figure out a way to maximize their profits. That's what businesses do. It just so happened, in my opinion, that the growth of online selling came at the same time that all this other stuff started to come, YouTube and all that. So forget the YouTube part and the social media part. Just the ramping up over the last 2 decades of being able to sell online is what changed Goodwill. I suppose you could argue that, you know, this stuff may have bumped it a little bit, and I suppose you're right. But this isn't a cop-out of me saying, hey, it's not my fault, or it's not all these other pickers' faults. But it is a new world, and it's not just in reselling, y'all. This is in every single industry. And there's social media online for everything. Here's a good little example. You know, somebody at a yard sale, they know what they pay for stuff. They know what stuff's worth, but they also realize that they're not going to become an online seller. So if they want to sell something like this item I'm going to pull right here, they better have it cheap at a yard sale, because the chances are they're not going to find the one person who wants this particular, well, let me pull it out of here so I can focus a little bit and not break stuff. I'll show it to you first. So, all right, pretty good example here. This is the Baldwin Prestige series, like door lock, deadbolt and handle. And there's a particular color and a particular style. you know, somebody out there is looking for that particular thing. The chances that they're coming to somebody's yard sale is pretty low. So you're looking for somebody who's not very particular about something to come and buy it. So you can't price this thing at eBay value and get a sale. Most people are well aware of that. This one actually sold pretty good. Bought it for $5, by the way, and it sold for $80 plus shipping. I actually bought this at the 301 sale. I was with Troy Mountain Man Treasure at that sale. That was a fun one. And Eric OBX was there too. You know what? I take that back. That was at the day before Uncle Mark's garage sale last year. That's when I saw Troy. So that was a fun day. We didn't go out and hit too many sales, but be honest with me. Let me know your opinion down below. Do you think that YouTube resellers and social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, is really making a huge impact for the sellers themselves? And if so, you know, give me a kind of a gauge of how much. Now, I do think there are some secrets out there. And then the other comment had more to do with the flipping side of it and the competition, not about boosting the price of things at garage sales and whatnot, but about the competition and making it harder for those pickers that do have knowledge out there to compete against these new pickers that have such easy access to new knowledge. And so that one I think is a little bit different. Still, I don't agree with it. However, there's a third piece of this that I do agree with, and there are some things that even I think I would keep secret. This next sale I've been waiting for a long time. For a couple reasons. One is it's been taking up a little bit of space up here, and the other was I knew it was going to turn like a $5 buy into a nice little profit. I'll show you that in a second, but I got to grab the other piece for it. And I have a few of these, but this is the one. See, this one here, and this one here. They're vintage Virginia Tech Hokies marching band outfits right there. It's got the pants underneath it. It's got this right here. And, you know, there's not many of these out there. Somebody had a kid, of course, that was in the marching band, and they're long gone, and they're selling off their stuff many years later. Let me go get this. This one had the hat with it as well. And, you know, who knows who wanted this, and who knows why they bought it, but I knew it would eventually happen, and it did. I'll have to check the address. Maybe it's going back to Virginia Tech. But obviously they don't use the same uniforms forever. But it had this in it as well. So how cool is that? And I had it listed for $100. I think we got $89.10 for it, plus shipping. I paid $5 and then $5 for those two. So I think it was $10 all in. And it took a long time, well over a year to sell that right there. But it sold. So I've got to get that in here. And I was going to go inside. And get an awesome, awesome sale. But these two little scoundrels follow me in. So I'm going to feed them a treat, and I'm going to go get it. All right, now here's an awesome one right here. Look, me giving out secrets, but a lot of you already know this. Garfield, cross-branded Garfield stuff does terrific. And unfortunately, this is the Falcons. If it was like the Chiefs, this is $250 all day long. And it does have a little sticker here, but look, it's got some stains on it as well, so it's got some issues. But if you ever find cross-branded Garfield stuff, buy it. This sweatshirt sold very quickly. Had it out there for $150, and look at it, made in the USA. And I was tempted not to take this offer, but I did because of the staining. I didn't know how long it would take. And it's getting warmer season, so I figured, what the heck. $125 plus shipping for that sweatshirt. And again, let's face it, there's a lot of things out there that people even know that they sell. Resellers know that they sell, and they still don't want to deal with them. And so that's where a lot of this stuff comes in, and I don't think people realize it, especially folks who watch this and criticize pickers and stuff. And I think it's important, by the way, to keep a reseller's reputations high. I think that is something that, you know, we can control the way we act and stuff. And I take criticism all the time for trying to get a better deal and whatever, but just simple kindness out there when you're out there picking and dealing with people and not lying to them about things, you know, telling them the truth. And, you know, even if you say, hey, this is worth $100, I'm going to pay 30, you know, because you know the work. Like, for instance, the next item I'm going to pick right here isn't something that is a big secret to people, but they're going to pass it up anyways because they don't want to do the work. All right, I'm actually in the eBay cave right now, and I'm looking for a particular item. There it is right here. I'm going to bring it out there and talk about it. But I saw something else here that I want to talk about. I want to reference that real quick as well. I didn't even open the door. Wallen did. All right, so this is what I'm talking about here. Everybody knows this out there, and anybody who uses Electrolux knows it's got value. But you know what? A lot of times people, once they're done using it, you know, they're big and bulky. They just want to get rid of it. But I picked this one up. And I'll pass up on them unless they're dirt cheap. But I picked this one up because it was clean. It was in the box already. You can literally ship it in this box. Had the side kicked. Had these things with it. It was 25 bucks for this and the vacuum cleaner itself. And just this sold for $50 plus shipping. And to be honest with you, that was pretty darn cheap. Because these can go for really good money. And the sidekick goes for a little bit, but you know, a lot of people know this. If you've ever bought an Electrolux, you know, 30 years ago or whatever, you know it's expensive. They still don't care. They want to get rid of it. And as far as the resellers go, I'm not giving any secrets away here, right? I think most people realize that. But maybe there's somebody out there listening for the first time who now will go pick up an Electrolux vacuum cleaner and now some other picker didn't get it. So I'm not saying this isn't completely illegitimate, but I don't really know how much of an effect it has. I will say this, though, before I get to the thing that I will tell you that I know people keep these secrets, and I don't blame them for keeping these secrets. But before we get there, there are some items. I tapped on that purple ab roller in there. You know, I don't remember anybody on social media ever picking those up. I'm not saying I was the first one to do it or whatever, but I never remember seeing anybody do it. I looked it up one time 10 years ago, and I'm like, holy cow, these go for good money. Most people look at them and are like, I don't want to deal with that. I want to ship it. But they unscrew, and you fold them down, and you find the right box, and they'll go for like $50 to $100 plus shipping. When I started this show years ago, I would find those all the time. I would find them everywhere, and I would pick them and I would sell them, and I put them on my videos, and now I almost never find them. And I have people sending me pictures. Hey, I did this. Same thing with the super shooter years ago, the electric one. And I was selling those for like 50, 60 bucks a pop at the right time of year. And then the market kind of collapsed on them, and people would send me little pictures of them. And so I do think it does have an effect to some degree with certain items out there. But for the most part, I don't agree with that argument either. I'm going to pick one more item and tell you what I would keep a secret. I'm going to show you my yard here. It's a complete mess, unfortunately, because we just mowed the grass. Shout out Pop. We're about ready to get this thing all ready to go for springtime and get the flowers in. You can't have that. These are a bunch of bras right here, and I can't wait for this picker video to come out. I think they're all Victoria's Secret. There's a few that have a few little issues, but we sold it. I'm like, how much for the bras? And he's like, $3, you can take them all. I'm like, okay. And these, this isn't even all of them. These Victoria's Secret used bras. Yes, you can sell used bras. Can't sell used underwear. Huh. They sold for $40 plus shipping, and they sold quickly. Now, I'm not going to name names, but if I said these folks' names, you'd know who I was talking about if you watch my channel enough. Some of the folks that I hang around and I love to watch their shows, and not Dave and Carrie, although, yeah, Dave doesn't keep anything secret that I'm aware of. But these other folks, they do a little bit of retail arbitrage, and they talk to each other, but they don't tell this stuff when they're on their own shows and social media, because when you're doing retail arbitrage, and there's other things too, but especially retail arbitrage, and there's certain items that certain stores have discounted, they do not let that information out just with their buddies, because the market gets flooded quickly, which lowers the price. That happens a lot with retail arbitrage. But if you can be the one buying most of it up in your area, and there's a few people as opposed to hundreds across the country doing it, you can preserve that market and stockpile even more. And so they don't give those things out very often. They don't mention them. And the other thing they don't mention is their honey holes. They absolutely will not mention their honey holes. And I know a few people specifically who have good ones, and they are not letting that cat out of the bag. I don't have any honey holes. If I had one, like a specific one, I probably would not let it out of the bag. I've seen other YouTubers do that before, and it becomes overwhelming pretty quick. I'm not talking about like Goodwill bins and different places like that. That stuff's pretty well known. I'm talking about mom and pop thrift stores, or even, I'll tell you what, I talked to a guy the other day, he told me about a flea market that he goes to, and he's like, hey, don't put this on. Don't put this on your channel. Don't ruin my flea market. I'm like, do you really think it would ruin the flea market? But maybe it would. I've had people tell me that I ruined this highway sale or that highway sale, how it used to be good, and then we started going to it and we publicized it. Now it's terrible and stuff like that. So maybe there's a little bit of truth to specific things like that. But in general, and so what? The cat, like I said, the cat's out of the bag. All that stuff is, even if it is true, if it wasn't me, it'd be somebody else. And if it wasn't them, it'd be somebody else. So anyway, but I want you to chime in on these debates and tell me what you think below. Just be nice. I want to jump in before we do the rest of the sales and do one from Mulligan's Golf Shop over on District, which is the one I collab with Uncle Steve Picker and OBX Picker. Y'all should go check it out and do us a good favor if you're a golf buyer or seller. This one right here sold over there. I put it on auction. It was a charity auction. I got a little dust on it, Mike. And, oh, my heater turned back on. Hold on. All right, that's a loud heater, so. And we did an Isaiah House hat. And I suppose I could sign it, but Mike's probably got enough for me. An Isaiah House bracelet, all of our stickers, put out there on auction over there, and that's a smaller site, so I didn't know how much traffic we'd get, but we still got $27. All of the money is going to Isaiah House's charity, well, GoFundMe, I guess I should call it, for Mary's handicapped van, wheelchair van. And I went on there and I gave the money from the dibdit.com sale for that Taylor Swift from the last video that ABC Matt bought, and we gave all of that money over there. We were going to do 50-50 auctions with them. No, we did 50-50 with sorry. We did 50-50 with the 3 and a man for Paige. But this one we gave all of the proceeds to Mary's van. And I went over there and I looked and it's gone up even more. So thank you to all of you who have contributed. We just sent another 70, 75 bucks. I can't remember. For these two, for this sale and the Taylor Swift one. And it was almost at $37,000 donated for her van. Unbelievable. So that's for this community here, but for our community online is given so much. So thank you to Mike Camparelli, one of the absolute nicest men I've met in this business and extremely generous. So thank you very much, Mike. And that hat is headed your way. Hopefully you enjoy it and you get your little Isaiah House bracelet. And look, selling that thing off of there makes it so much easier to get this out. We don't sell much from these, but this is something that we'll sell this time of year. I think we're down to just a few of a couple of them. But this was Pabst Blue Ribbon koozies sold. These sold for $10.40 plus shipping. And Josh picked them up and he says, "Hey Kevin, I'm a longtime viewer, behavioral interventionist for special needs kids at high school. I'm not paid at all in the summer, 23 unpaid days during the year. So I sell part-time to make up the difference. My reseller name is the Dude VT." Okay, it's an eBay there. "I thank you for all the knowledge you give to so many folks." See, some people are mad at me for doing that. And the reality is, and I'll say this again, I learn so much from you guys out there, and I appreciate it. I learn all the time, and from my fellow reseller friends. So since the cat is out of the bag, by the way, you might as well get in with a good group of folks. You know, all these Facebook groups. We have one Trash Cash Podcast Facebook group. When I need information, that's where I go, or I talk to my buddies, or at RIN or other places, and they can usually give me, you know, you can figure out the experts. I'm kind of a jack of all trades, a master of none. I don't have too many expertises, but at any rate, thank you. We appreciate you. He says he's also a PBR drinker, so hope you enjoy him. And while I'm over here, I'm going to grab the last 2 of the fat tires. They sold as well to somebody else. And they sold for $12 free shipping. So that was 10 something plus. I think this is $12. Oop, got too many. Free shipping. Sold a purple Gucci case. I've never picked up a Gucci case before. But it was a buck at a sale. And I'm like, that's going to have some value. It's purple. Oh, like felt. I don't know what you want to call it. Gucci case with a few things inside. And it sold for $18.95 plus shipping. Do you have a secret that you wouldn't tell out there? Well, you don't have to tell me the secret. Obviously, you won't tell me the secret. But do you have secrets that you won't tell anybody? I know a lot of you do. And, you know, if you're not making reseller content, because there's money. I mean, let's face it. There's money in reseller content. That's why we do this stuff. You know, nobody's out there doing this much content creation as so many of us are doing for nothing, right? And so there's value in education, you know, where there's knowledge is power. I used to tell my students all the time. And that certainly is true of reselling. 3 of these sold. I think it was 3. It might have been more. Hold on a minute. Nope, it was 3. 26 bucks. Appreciate it. Sold a Harley t-shirt. I actually picked this one up at the 127 sale 2 years ago. And it sold. Not for a ton. Only paid a couple bucks. And it only sold for $10.45 plus shipping. I'm going to give a very brief, non-secret secret. Just really quickly. April 19th. We are going to be doing a Whatnot show that is super special. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag and everything. There are going to be giveaways like crazy. We're going to be at least $100 giveaway as well. But it's going to be a really, really fun show. So if you ever go watch us on Whatnot, go bookmark the 19th show. Actually, we have one on the 17th. It's going to be all ephemera. That's going to be cool as well. But the 19th is going to be an awesome show. The girl's been working on that, and I've been working on eBay. Go through our link if you never have. You can get a free 10 bucks to spend. There's even going to be a free $5 coupon over there as well. And we're going to be putting some of our merch items that are normally higher priced right there at 15 bucks. So all you have to do is pay shipping and taxes on it, and you can get that stuff for free. I might tell you more about it a little later, maybe next video. Donkey Kong Game Boy Advanced. Paid $2 for this one at a sale the other day, and it sold for $19.95 plus shipping. I just realized that was to Stacy. Thank you so much. Big fan of your channel's Nonstop Workshop. Nonstop_workshop on eBay. So here is a secret that I learned of all people from ADH Dave. I know most of you didn't think it was possible to learn from him, but it's possible to learn from just about anybody. And he said, hey, when you go to these movies, pick up the popcorn buckets and the drinks and stuff. And they're really expensive, but so is popcorns and drinks. And I think I paid like $25.95 for the popcorn bucket with the popcorn and the drink. And so I got all that, the popcorn and the drink, and it still sold after the fact for how much did this sell for? $47.45 plus shipping. So how cool was that? So I paid for my popcorn, paid for my drink. The kids had all that popcorn, refilled the drink, came home and washed it, cleaned it up, sold it for as much as I paid for it. Plus I got all the free stuff, and we're making a profit on top of it. So I was really super tempted to keep this for myself. And I'm kind of regretting the fact that I don't have it, because it would be perfect for my 80s eBay cave, but it isn't technically 80s, so maybe that's okay. Where's that other item? Also picked up one of these. This was $29. I'm like, I don't know if I could be able to sell this or not. But I did just list it, so we will see. The ghost traps. Dave said he'd buy it off me if it doesn't sell, but I don't want Dave to have it. Different theaters have different things, so check those comps before you go in there. You might be able to at least pay for your ridiculously priced stuff and make a few bucks. And the next sale reminded me of something that's out in the other shed. Like, we got one there. If you know, we are completely low on those, so we're not doing these near as often as we used to. I do have those and those that I'm gonna slowly sell off, but I hate to get rid of my decoration. But we did put one out. I think we have another one out now, or will be soon. And this one sold obviously to a viewer. If you're new to the channel, this is an Enaman. It is a plush enema. It has been our mascot, and it's been selling for years and years and years. This is an example of a market that we created as opposed to destroyed. And there are some of those examples out there, by the way. I've talked about it before. I feel like there are a few people who have really helped the glass market go up, not down. And there are certainly items that people see for the first time and they buy them that they wouldn't have otherwise seen. So I think there's a double-edged sword with all this social media, but that one sold to a viewer, as 99% of them do. This is, by the way, the house that Enaman built. If you are new to this channel, subscribe for us. We'd appreciate that, or go check us out on the Commonwealth Picker channel. But quite literally, all the money for this, all of it, came from the sale of those guys right there, because all the support you gave us for years. And that also reminds me of somebody I ran into the other day who said they bought one at the very, very, very beginning, when they were 10 bucks a pop. And the market, of course, has gone up on those. And I want to show you what he gave me, and we're going to run a little charity auction in his honor for that gift. And I'll tell you about it in a minute, but I better shut up here. Hey, Kevin, finally got one. So excited. I have a number 2. Pun intended. It's an enema after all. So here's number 2. right here, which we don't have. Well, we have some. This is all we have right there. This is the number 3. This is the new order. They're over at CommonwealthPicker.com. When these are gone forever. We'll never bring them back. But these will be out there until that batch is gone. And then who knows? Maybe we'll have a number 4. But that's the original Enaman. I have to call those the Enema Men. Lovingly dubbed number 2. Supposed to get your eBay store moving if you're new to the channel. So excited. I have a number 2, pun intended, and want to get the newest one. But I told myself I needed the original first. Now to complete my set. Appreciate all you and your family do and all the info and the lessons you give. I have been reselling on and off since 1999. That's before me. I started 2001. More regularly part-time in 2021. Still learning all the time. Thanks again, Jeff the Cowboy Picker. Jeff, I appreciate it. And I hope he gets things moving for you. Turner is all decked out in angel red today. All right, buddy. What's your Commonwealth comedy?
What are the rules in zebra baseball?
What are the rules in zebra baseball? What?
3 stripes and you're out.
3 stripes and you're out. I love it, buddy.
Bye.
Next thing is something I would rarely pick up, but it was a private pick from my buddy's house, and he was moving, and he had these, and I'm like, well, they won't go for much, but at that point, he was just trying to get rid of stuff, and we gave him a lot of money, way more money than I'd give somebody else, because when people invite me into their house, because I'm an expert of some sort, then I feel I'm obliged to do just that. But this is a top set from 1990, not the greatest set in the world, but it's sold for $25 plus shipping. And here's a secret that nobody wants. Ashtrays. While there is some money in some ashtrays, you know, there's not a whole ton. Just depends on which ashtray. But this is an old drip glaze one. I don't think it... Well, it's made in the USA. So, looks kind of like Hall, you know. I don't know what it is, but it sold for $15 plus shipping. It would have been a tough seller. It's been around for a while, and it took a viewer to buy it. So watch out. Don't go picking up all the ashtrays. A lot of them aren't worth it, but some of them are, so you got to take a look at them. Dave... Oh, boy, here we go. Kevin. Kevin is the name of the person who bought it. First-time buyer, by the way. Okay, interesting. Dave told me to say you look like Fix-It Fred from Wreck-It Ralph. It's a fair comparison, I think. Yes, I've heard him say that many, many times, and I sound like Woody Harrelson. And then the guy, I can't remember that other guy's name. People always compare me to, but anyway, thank you for the purchase. I appreciate it very much. He used my code Commonwealth, so you got 5% off. Very cool. Appreciate you. Sold another WCW. I'm down to like 8 of these. Crazy. 8 of this particular type. We're selling for $9.95. NWO skull cap. And I guess Reagan's going to come in here in a minute, so she could probably tell you. But if you're interested in the Enaman here, if you're, you know, strapped for cash, we do booster stickers, you know, with all this booster stuff. You know, once you get the original, you got to get a booster every quarter. Let me show these new folks, since we've been doing a new folk thing here. We do booster stickers every quarter, which, by the way, it's a new quarter, so get your eBay coupons out there. Where's the giant one? There he is, right there. So every quarter. So the Hillbilly Enema Man is this quarter's right here. We only have 50. We used to do 40. They'd sell out in days. Then we did 100 for the giant one, and they didn't sell out. So we went back to 50. I want to have enough for everybody to get one who wants one and collects them, which, by the way, is crazy, but we appreciate you very much. But not enough that I'm losing money having extras. Big shout out to Just Be Crafting on Instagram. So those are in the store right now. And I think this is one of the first belts that have sold out for us. This Harley belt. I think this is a 28. Yep, size 28. That sold for $30 plus shipping. And I sold a little koala plush that I mixed up with another order the other day. I gotta get this one right and fix these people up. But this little Russ koala bear sold for $11.40 plus shipping. All right, y'all, we got No Name here. We got Reagan here. Oh, you like the sticker? And we got a couple of sales from CommonwealthPicker.com. Actually, there's quite a few, but this is just the first 2 we're going to do today. What do you got?
Stacy and Dan in Demand.
Stacy and Dan in Demand. Dan in Demand is a good buddy, and he has a YouTube channel called Dan in Demand. And he also has a podcast called, I think it's Leftovers Podcast. You have to check out Dan. What do you think of that one? I like that one right there. The Hillbilly Enema Man booster shot right there. So to get your eBay store moving. Yeah, I like him too. So thank you, Reagan.
And don't forget to get your sticker at commonwealthpicker.com.
I mentioned earlier in the video that somebody donated something to me, gave to me, that we're going to do a little bit of charity with. There will be an In-A-Man auction up for that. I will show you the other stuff on a future episode, but it was very kind of that person to do that. But we're going to put that off just a little bit. We're going to run an auction over there and give the proceeds for an In-A-Man that he donated to us to Mary's van as well. So you can see that over there on eBay. We appreciate you for stopping by. Don't forget to give us your secrets, to tell us if you keep secrets without giving us your secrets down below. We appreciate you as always, y'all. Hopefully your garage sales are going well, your thrifting's going well, all of your sourcing, and that you're enjoying this weather out there, I hope. So we appreciate you stopping by, and I can't wait to see you next time.